Alright, chat, so I felt like this video is just appropriate considering I have watched Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2 like 4 times in the past month, because it's kind of becoming like an emotional like attachment show for me right now. I put it on literally anytime I'm stressed out or like just need something good to watch, like good entertainment and like chef's kiss content. So I'm going to be explaining why Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2 is the best season ever created in the Real Housewives franchise, like history. So Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip essentially is kind of like a Real Housewives spinoff. So all the women in the Real Housewives franchise are basically like up for dibs, if you will. Producers pick women from all different installments, like Orange County, Beverly Hills, New York, any of those, and they pick random women and they all meet each other for the first time and they go on vacation together. So these women have never met each other before and they're all from the Housewives, and they usually go to like a different country like Thailand, and it's just so interesting to see like all of your favorites from different installments like colliding. Like it's basically like when worlds collide. Sometimes they'll have Real Housewives like from the same installment on. So Kenya and Cynthia Bailey from season 1 were in Atlanta together. So sometimes there's people from the same franchise on the season together, but mostly it's people that have never met before and they're meeting for the first time in another country. So as you can imagine, it is very drama filled, and these girls, like, they meet each other for the first time and they just become best friends. It's so interesting to see the relationships on this show and like how they form so quickly just within a week of like vacationing together. They become so close. So like I said, I gave season 1 a try. I wasn't a huge fan of season 1. It was okay. It just, it does not compare to season 2 in my opinion. So season 1 came out in 2021 and season 2 came out in mid 2022. Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2 takes place in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. So it takes place in the Berkshires. And Dorinda Medley has a mansion in the Berkshires called Bluestone Manor. And I think it's about 8 girls go and they go to Dorinda's mansion and they stay there for a week. So I'm going to tell you guys all the women that are on this season. So we have Phaedra Parks from Atlanta, Brandi Glanville from Beverly Hills. Yes! Yeah! My Shayla. Jill Zarin from New York. Dorinda Medley from New York. Tamra Judge from Real Housewives of Orange County. Taylor Armstrong from Beverly Hills. Vicki Gunvalson from Orange County. And Eva Marcel from Real Housewives of Atlanta. So there are people from the same installments on this show. So we have Taylor and Brandi who are on Beverly Hills together, Phaedra and Eva from Atlanta, Tamra and Vicki from OC, and Jill and Dorinda from New York. A lot of these people have not seen the other person in years, basically since filming. So Brandi and Taylor were on season 2 and season 3 of Beverly Hills together, but they have not seen each other since filming season 2 and season 3. To put that into perspective, Beverly Hills is currently on season 14 or 15, I believe, so it has been years since they've seen each other. This was super interesting to watch because Brandi and Taylor feuded basically through the entire time they were on the show together. So they basically saw each other for the first time halfway all the way across the country and just had to squash their beef because they were living in the same house together for a week. And Jill Zarin and Dorinda also kind of weren't on good terms from New York, so they had to squash their beef as well. Tamra and Brandi, who are my favorite housewives of all time. I could get so canceled for saying that, but I honestly don't care because they're just like chef's kiss perfection.
What do you mean by that?
I'm gay. I said I'm gay!
Alright.
They had like online like Twitter beef when they first met, so they had to kind of squash that beef as well. So honestly, like it was so entertaining. I think season 2 is just like, it's the best season that I've ever watched for a few reasons. One, like I said, the beef. Like they had to just like squash their beef. The relationships built, they all became best friends. They all like argued with each other for the first like 4 or 5 nights, and then after that, like all the dinners, they just were like so wholesome with each other, and they were just like so they were just such good friends by the end of it. And a lot of the girls still talk now. I remember when Phaedra Parks was on Dancing with the Stars, all the girls like went to go watch her like at the Dancing with the Stars live show, so that was super cute. It also takes place in Massachusetts, so it's kind of just like comforting for me. Like a lot of the places that they went to I have heard of before, or I have been there before, and it's just like super cool to see your favorite housewives from California be in Massachusetts and like be walking around the streets of a town that you've been in before. So I just thought that was super cool. I think another reason why I love season 2 so much is because it really just gives off the vibes of primetime Real Housewives humor. It is just so unintentionally funny sometimes, and intentionally funny, but like it's just so funny. The girls just like crack so many unhinged jokes, and of course Brandi Glanville just brings so much drama and so much humor to the show itself. Like half the stuff she says is like unintentionally funny, but like it's so funny. It's the funniest stuff on the show. All the girls crack up laughing. She was so serious about lesbian eyebrows gate.
What made you think the lady was a lesbian?
Her eyebrows.
Like said the whole thing with a straight face, and the girls could not take her seriously because like how could you say that and like actually be serious about it? They all get so drunk every single night, and stuff just goes down every night. Every episode there's a blowout, there's like tea, there's like funny moments, and like that really is what Real Housewives is to me. I feel like nowadays in some of the installments, you could go a few episodes without like something iconic happening or like a big blowout happening, but in season 2 of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, every single night is a new thing. It's a new storyline, it's a new meme, it's a new joke that just sticks with you. I was also watching it with my dad the other day, and he pointed out that Great Barrington, Massachusetts, in the Berkshires, there's a lot of like old restaurants, and it's very like, it's not some place that like Vicky's gonna go whoop it up at. And it's so funny because they go to these like really old like haunted restaurants, and they just like start screaming and swearing at each other and talking about the most inappropriate stuff. And it's just so funny to see them in those environments like being absolutely so unhinged. Another thing I love about season 2 is that they're all so accepting of each other. Brandi Glanville is openly bisexual, as we know. Taylor Armstrong is openly bisexual. Tamra Judge, like, she hasn't like come out, but like we all know she's fruity. There's just a lot of representation on season 2, and they joke about like sexuality, and you know, they have crushes on each other. I feel like depending on like who you're with in general, if you talk about sexuality or like you make jokes like that, it's kind of like taboo. And the way it's discussed on season 2 is just like normal conversation. Like there's nothing weird about it. They all like normalize it, and I personally like found that very, very affirming, and I love that about all these women. Even the people that didn't know Brandi Glanville was bisexual, when she talks about it on the show, they aren't like, oh my god, like, they aren't freaking out about it, and they're not making it a big deal. They're just kind of like, oh, okay. And like, that like is just so, it's such a small detail for me, but it means a lot. Vicky Gunvalson is on season 2, and she has a past of being homophobic with Bronwyn on season 14 of Orange County. She was outwardly homophobic in the reunion, saying how like she doesn't like when Bronwyn kisses girls and like does all this stuff, like it makes her uncomfortable. It's not like what she believes in. But she honestly like was not as bad in season 2 when like everything happened with Brandi and Taylor and whatever. Granted, that was a few years later, so like maybe she has, you know, gotten a little bit better with that, but I was a little bit nervous to see how she was going to react to all of that stuff, but it honestly like wasn't a problem. Alright guys, so those are some of the reasons why I think you should watch Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2. Like I said, the cast is stellar. So many good housewives that I have never watched before that I absolutely love now. The cast is super supportive of each other, super inclusive. They all love each other, and a lot of them are still friends now after meeting on the show for the first time. You can watch Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2 on Peacock. It is the second season, so you don't have to watch the first season to like know what's happening. Each season is different with a different location and different housewives, so you don't need to watch the first season first. If you want to, go ahead. I personally like season 2 a lot better and think you can skip season 1. Thanks for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys later about the housewives. Bye guys.
You killed her! I didn't do it.